So I am going to be making a Thanksgiving dinner, and I'm curious how much energy it's going to take on our new lithium ion setup. So I'm going to measure it using our Kil-O-Watt meter and our smart BMS app on our phone. And I know I'm not the only curious pilgrim on this new journey to renewable resources, so I'm going to share our findings with you later on.
Oh boy.
Grocery shopping!
Chicken. Put out the fire we're gonna make.
Oh yeah, extra safety.
Socks, mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
And that's
Thank
it.
you. It's my favorite.
Socks?
Thanksgiving.
You like socks most?
Mac and cheese.
This is my new way of tying. So I got them up there. What's in the syringe? What you gonna put in the
I'm
syringe?
gonna
The
put
seasonings?
more butter in the syringe and inject it all the way through. It's gonna be a fatty chicken. Hello there. So I'm making a dinner to commemorate being in Port Royal for 1 year. It's Thanksgiving, and we arrived Thanksgiving last year, 2019, and we've come a long way. We've added $1,500 worth of lithium-ion batteries, and that's providing us with enough power to run AC for more than 8 hours, and the fridge and everything else we need, and we can cook as much as we want. And today we're going to push it to the limits. It hasn't been very sunny at all for the last couple of days, so
We're at 39% on our battery right now.
oh, well, that's getting pretty low, I guess. We did run the heater last night for a couple hours, and made a frozen chicken pot pie for dinner. So we've been using it, and haven't really been able to replenish it too much with our 600-watt solar panels. But we're gonna measure how much this chicken takes in watt hours, and I've already got it buttered with some garlic and herb, butter and some seasoning and salt and pepper. And I'm also gonna make some mac and cheese. I can't make everything that I like, but my top favorites, green bean casserole and some mashed potatoes. Unfortunately, they're gonna be the powdered kind. And what else? Let's see.
Eggnog ice cream.
That's it, pretty much. Alrighty, we've got our 1,500-watt toaster oven plugged into our Kil-O-Watt meter, and we're gonna roast our 5.5-pound chicken at the regular 350 that you would cook any bird, and it's probably gonna take 2.5 hours. But so I'll have to reset it because the max is 2 hours. But the Kil-O-Watt meter is already set to 0, so I'm just gonna push start and reset that in 2 hours. We've only got 1 Kil-O-Watt meter, so we're gonna measure everything else's consumption on the app that Brandon has on his phone. It's like a BMS smart app, like a battery management system app. And so the microwave and the burner for the mashed potatoes and everything, it'll be all measured, as well as the incoming power that we draw. And yeah, we'll let you know the total value of everything at the end.
At this rate, we could cook for 11 hours.
Really?
Yeah. While we were talking, we were getting some solar in, so we went from 37 to 41%. I mean, I guess really it was while we were cleaning and doing everything this morning and prepping for this. It was about 2 hours, so I guess. I don't know, I could do the math, but we went from 107 amp hours remaining to 111, and now we've turned on, and we're getting probably about 600-700 watts from the solar when it hits it good, and that takes up a good chunk of it. We have lead acids in parallel with these batteries, so they are also giving off some amperage, and the rest of it is coming from these. I've taped a temp probe to the leading wire that is the smallest. It's 12 gauge, And I'm glad to see that it's only doing 500 watts because we've already done 800 watts all night long and we didn't have any temp problems. But I was a little nervous about running 1500 watts.
Yeah.
1500 watts, even at 48 volts, through a 12 gauge wire is what, 30 amps? It's a little high. But right now we're at 10, so that's good. I wouldn't even stress about running 20 amps on 12 gauge, but 30 continuously. Let's see. We'll see, but we got a temp probe. So, a temp probe.
We'll see.
I like we'll see.
We'll see, we'll see.
We're going to see. We're going to go in this village. I really need to move the solar channel. Back here. Yeah, saying 400 watts, and then the sun will come out and we'll go to 700 watts.
1 hour in, it smells good. And it's drawn 530 watts so far. Probably got an hour and a half at least, maybe 2.5 hours. It's up in the air. I'm just gonna test it, keep prodding it till it gets to 175. I can't wait. It smells good. Alright, so our chicken's cooked for 2 hours so far. So I've reset it. It's drawn a total of 1,000 watt hours or 1 kilowatt hour. Alright, so I just turned the toaster oven off and it looks like it took a total of 1.55 kilowatt hours. And I tested the temperature and it's at 179, so it's done. That's what that took.
Only you could harness that voice when you're happy. That was a good low pitch.
Nothing doesn't work, so we can't get into the green beans anyways. So
Well, I'll get into them.
Thanksgiving's right.
Just give me 1 second and I'll get into them. How many kilowatts did that thing take? Looks like it says 1SS over there. Is it a Camaro?
Alrighty, so I think it's gotten more than done, and
Oops.
it's been cooking for 3 hours. Yeah, it's hotter than it needs to, 200. It only needs to get to 175. But we cooked it for 3 hours and it took 1.55 kilowatt hours. So we still have to do the other sides and we will add it all up and figure out the total for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yum yum.
It smells really good and I'm starving.
Me too. Me too.
Makes me really thankful for the Thanksgiving dinner I usually have with my family. Chicken and dumplings, that's what I miss the most.
I think so. Your mom makes delicious chicken and dumplings. I swear. 38 amps. Look, 38 amps. That's a lot. That's way more. The other one, well, way more. The other one would do 33 amps for like 5 seconds and quit. Maybe 15. I don't know why.
Right now it's handling the microwave and this eye over here.
You know, hide that in the microwave?
Yeah, just keep it in the microwave until it's time, so it's warm.
1.55 kilowatt hours for the chicken.
So far, and now let's see what the green bean casserole takes. Putting it at 350 again, probably for just about 10 or 15 minutes because I already microwaved it. Keep it short.
Alrighty. Man, I'm excited. French onions, mine. Well, before discharging, it says we have 31%, but I don't think it's really 31 because you can see one of our cells is already, the spread between the cells is 0.06 and it was 0.006. So one cell's trying to take a dive basically. It's going down to 3 volts. 304. And I think 3 is dead. So we're holding on by 0.04 volts.
Oh wow. Dang. We're almost, well, no, we've really got like 15 or 20 more minutes.
Well, for some reason, I'm kind of under the impression that it's not pulling from that cell and it's skipping pulling from the amps from it. And it's just allowing the other cells to do the work.
Well, So the water is almost boiling, so I'm about to put the pasta in. That takes 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
10 minutes for the pasta, and then probably 5 more minutes after that.
That's a lot.
More boiling water for gravy.
The gray cell. What does gray cell mean, JBD? Tell me. I don't know what it means. There's not really an instruction manual, and if there was, it would be in Chinese. It says we have 85 more amp hours, but... Oh, looks like the neighbors are here.
I know, we didn't even hear you come up.
They go from here to about right here, and about here to there. But that one piece is one cell. From that terminal right there to the other terminal that's under there.
Yeah.
So it's about from here to here, and there's 16 of those.
Well, you got plenty. Y'all got a one-of-a-kind boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of a kind Catalina, that's for sure. Is it possible to shut the oven off now?
I just now turned it back on. A minute and 5 seconds ago.
Several of our cells are under 3 volts. I'd like to shut it off and minimize power. Possibly. Is it not possible? I mean,
It's kind of been cloudy today.
yeah, it's been cloudy for days, yeah. Does this need to be on anymore? The eye?
Yeah. Can you give me like another minute or 2? That's all it really needs.
So how heavy are those batteries?
It's 200 pounds for the whole pack.
Yeah. Can you charge those batteries right there with a regular charger? I mean,
Any voltage, but,
48.
I mean they're 48 volts, so.
48 volts. So
But I've got a 48 volt to 110.
110.
Yeah. So I can plug it to shore power.
What?
Y'all usually just go out by the ocean, or you just?
So
We've
far,
never been outside.
well, when we
I've
were
never
in,
been outside.
in the Chesapeake, we went kind of out in the Atlantic a little bit and looked out and came back in a couple times, at least once. But
Have you seen what the weather's gonna be?
we're going down the ICW.
I'm talking about for like out in the ocean.
We're not going out in the ocean.
Well, that's good. That's good.
There's a lot of other people saying the same thing, but it's just been bad.
5, but it got to 200, so hopefully it's not dry. Well, at least it'll be done.
Thanksgiving to turkey.
Yeah. Looks real tender. That did that. Real juicy.
Alright. So, got that one. Looks like we've used a total of 1.76 kilowatt hours. And let's see, we got green bean casserole done, gravy done, some nasty instant mashed potatoes that we're just gonna have to deal with done, and macaroni and cheese. Yeah. We got our friends Lee and Micah here to celebrate everything we're thankful for, including their help recovering our anchor line the other day.
Yeah.
So, let's see, is that enough for you?
That's a little more than I eat. No, that's all right.
Okay.
That's all right. There you go. You're just right. Appreciate it. Thank you. It's a shame people can't go and spend time with their family with this virus. You know?
Yeah.
That's when they landed up on those shoals. See, all it takes is a brisk wind to come out of nowhere. If you got your sails up and it'd pay you to go straight out from your markers.
Was it you guys were telling me about the check valve in your diesel?
Oh yeah.
Maybe they had the same issue there.
Oh yeah. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, you just go.
Seconds? Yeah, you can have seconds.
I
It's funny.
I didn't have breakfast. So.
I'm just starting.
Well, I'll be on thirds by the time you get the second.
Good. Plenty to be thankful for this year. That's for sure.
I guess I can't really get to it all.
Oh, sure.
I'm sorry. I don't know. It's a lot like running out of gas in your car. The light came on, but you don't know if you had like 50 more miles to go or 80 more miles before you actually died and stopped. I don't want to push the battery till we die and stop, because then we have to, you know, the fridge might not. We have to have enough for the fridge going through the night. Yeah. So we reached 3.01 on like the lowest cell, and then we stopped cooking, and it recovered to 3.1. So, you know, under load it's dropped a little bit, but when it recovers, I don't know. I don't know what that means. The BMS counter says we have 80 more amp hours out of 280, but I don't think it really knows what's going on exactly. I don't know if it's calibrated to a T. But I do know that from here it will take another at least 100 and, well, about 200 amps to fully charge it. So if it takes in 200 amps and then it's at 56 volts, we know that it's fully charged, and we know that that's the capacity. It might not be a full 280 amps, but it may be at least 200 amps. I don't know. We're not going to see what happens when we run out of gas, because if you run out of gas, you can't just put more gas in it. It's a bad battery at that point. So there. Okay. The chicken was delicious. Our guests, I've left. The music has stopped. It is picking through the bone time and sorting it. I'm getting bit by bugs. I need to shut them. He's not too lovely this morning here.
Neither's mine. I think maybe I'll just stand up. It looks weird this way.
It looks shaky.
Take 3.
Batteries. Red.
We cut it pretty close on our chicken dinner last night, and we don't even have enough to run the hot water heater this morning to wash the dishes.
To be fair, they say you can take them down to 2.5, but that's like absolute zero, and it's like running your car out of gas, and it's not good to do that. So I'm calling 3 volts the low voltage, because if you look at the volt curve, it really has like 2% at 3 volts. So, and we hit 2.95 on one of them, 2.98 on a couple. So I'm calling it there. We're going to stop there. It's recovered 3.1, 3.05 on most of them. The voltage spread is 0.01 now, and it was 0.001. So it's 10 times worse than it was when it was fully charged, because each cell hits bottom different times. So a couple of the cells got further spread out. You can see the voltage spread there. Tells me on screen. We're pulling in 8.8 amps from the solar panels at 48 volts, which is 425 watts. It says we have 75 amp hours remaining, but I don't think it's got an accurate tell. Maybe that is going all the way to 2.5 volts down, but I can't, it doesn't make sense, because 2% of 2.8 amps, or 280 amps would be 2.8 amps. And 2.8 amps is not, you know, 775. 75 is a third of the battery. You know, it says 28%. I think it's more like 2.8%. But I believe there's actually a calibration and a reset in here, and I need to look into that and read the manual, because there is a lot in this program, and I believe I can set that to start over now, because when we were charging up, it was saying we were at like 93%, and we still hadn't gone above 3.4 volts. And at 93% charge, you should be hitting about 3.5. So I think it's got our battery scale moved down a little bit, and that's why we didn't know our power was cutting it so close. It said 33%, and when it hit 28, it started really taking a dive on a couple of the cells. Thankfully, it didn't use that much, because we were burning a lot of solar panel power yesterday, and you know, that going directly into the cooking appliances saved some of the charging losses that happen from charging. So cooking while the sun's out is always better. We ran the hot water heater this morning after it made it through the night fine, and I gained 3 amp hours this morning. Turned the hot water heater off. They're gone back down to 75, and so we're gonna wait a little bit, maybe get 2 or 3 more amp hours back into it, kick the hot water heater back on, do our dishes, go get the water that we use the dishes, and then we're out of here.
Yep. We only have a few more hours before we leave Port Royal. We've been here for a year total. To the day.
We arrived
we are
right on
ready,
Thanksgiving last year.
more than ready to leave
Yeah, it's crazy.
and hit up the next city and check it out.
And we're so much closer now with our electric outboard motor project. If you hadn't heard, we bought a 1,000-watt, 48-volt brushless motor. She found, I found on Craigslist. She went and picked it up. It was $200. Under this 1,000-watt motor happens to be a 3,000 or 5,000-watt motor hooked to a 1,000-watt controller. And the controller's burnt out, so we're skipping that, and we're gonna hook up a really fancy controller I've got over here in this bag with this old to us, lithium Pymon green battery, ready to safely get off the boat if we need to in a bag. So that's a little bit safer.
Ford Fusion, right?
Yeah, Ford Fusion hybrid battery. So it's only 500 watt hours. So run the jet ski with a 1,000-watt motor, full tilt for a half hour. Just enough to go to the dock and back one time, basically. Not that good. Yeah, it's not a good battery, and it's heavy for what that is.
Yeah,
if we
it
replaced it with lithium ion, the weight down there, we'd have probably 4 or 5 times the range for the same weight. These are really, really inefficient, crappy old green cells. That's these guys. Everybody knows them. I was told at First Build of all places, no, Level 1 in Kentucky, that these are really inefficient. They looked at them and said, huh, so you gotta have all those for 48? Because this is my Chevy Volt battery, and it was like this big, but it was the same size of all these. It was the same capacity as this. Excuse me, no, it was 40 amps, and this is only 10. So it's 4 times the capacity of this, but about half the size. Chevy Volt lithium ion versus Ford.
That's crazy.
But I guess for whatever reason, Ford had the room to spare, and their design worked in their cars. They don't have any comeback. They didn't have any problems with them, you know. They have like a really low record of failure, which I don't think the Chevy Volts have a high record of failure. It's the Priuses with the old nickel metals that have the bad ones. So
Electric bikes, that's where you look for small batteries because that's where they need to be small.
Oh, yeah.
The inventors,
whatever they're
focus
using
on
in
that.
electric bikes is what we need to focus on putting in the jet ski and the dinghy for our shore power, getting to and from. And that's probably going to be either LTO, which is lithium titanium, which is a new one you've never heard of. It's a different one. Yeah.
No, I thought keeping lithium iron and lithium ion is hard.
No, now we're gonna have lithium tits.
Yep. Well, at least, man, I like lithium iron because at least LiFePo4,
LiFePo, man.
That's pretty.
Yeah, we put the life.
That's pretty fun. I'm not gonna have as much fun as what life tits or live tits.
Titanium something. I have to look it up.
Lion tits. That's what it's gonna.
Lion tits.
All right.
Yeah, they're good for discharging really quickly, so that would be good for the jet ski. Good high power.
Well, hope you learned something. I know I sure did. If I can remember, that's the question.
Cheeseburger.
Thanks for watching. Peace.
Peace.